Thank you. Mr. Manager?
Through the chair, I think there's misinformation, and I want to clarify the situation related to this particular item. For many, many years, and I guess the practice of the city was to the city manager will sign off on the appointment of the constables. According to the ordinance, it requires a city manager currently right now. The bond, not the application, but the bond, for the city manager to sign the bond. That I don't spend the based on my entire schedule and everything. There's impossible for me to review every single bond that the city right now is signing, whether it's bonds of contractors doing construction projects, bonds of many different projects that are happening in the city. We wanted to procedurally continue with that process. The oversight of review of the application for the constables does not happen in the city manager's office. It happens in the police department. And so right now, what we're proposing here is to remove the signature of the city manager, just like I don't sign any other bond, and give that assignment of responsibility to oversee and review and do the background checks like it currently does to the police department. And then it's my job as a city manager to oversee the police department and oversee the law department in making sure that they have done their job and due diligence to review the application process, et cetera. Same thing happens with licenses, applications that happen in the city. Same thing happens with business applications and et cetera. I'm not signing off on any of that. Departments sign off, and it's my responsibility as the city manager to have the oversight of my staff to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. That is what we're following suit here, and it's my responsibility to manage the chief of police to make sure that he is, and with his department, overseeing the applications and the background checks of the constables. And then it's my job then to take that application through the departments and submit it to the council, as we always have, so that the council can then approve the appointment of the constables. That's how the process has been. That's what we're trying to, it's not removing any sense of oversight. There's no removing of oversight here. It's simply removing the idea of the city manager having to sign when at the end of the day, it's simply a paper coming to me, I sign it, and then I move it forward. There's no change of oversight here. The oversight continues the same, which is under the police department to do the background checks and review the applications.
Mr. Chairman, to the administration, so it sounds like that responsibility, background checks, et cetera, is currently conducted by the police department. So whether there's a signature or not, that happens. So my question to the chair, to the administration, what's the amount of, what's the total amount of signatures that are necessary? Like, how many constables are we talking about here? Like, what is the workload we're talking about that we're looking to alleviate?
To the chair, to the council, it's not about.
Well, how many?
Right now, there's 25 constables in the city, but it's not about the amount of constables and the amount of me signatures. It's about process. One of the things that we talk about in this council here is about process and making sure to create a process that is not only accessible to the individuals by creating an online process for people and constables to be able to upload their information and have a better understanding of the data and information that's available to folks, rather than in files in a cabinet where it's manual. That has all been talked about in this council many, many times, about technology, about process. That's what I'm trying to institute here. And it seems as though that now is being questioned because of a simple signature that I have, again, at the end of the day, means nothing, because the process will continue, the signatures that are required will continue, and the review and the oversight will still continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think my statement stands. For me, and I think for members of the community, the idea that with this particular matter, given the landscape, given what's gone on, having a city manager sign off on these small number of folks is important for process. It sounds like the oversight, we know that the oversight of the city manager as relates to the acting chief You're making sure that job's done. And it sounds to me that the process is then comes to you and you sign off on it. Whether or not you, and to what degree you vet that, is neither here nor there. That's on you. However, what we do know is that when there is an issue in this particular matter with respect to people's rights, to people's homes, to their living options and their options as relates to their property, and how that's exacted by these constables comes back to the city manager. Ultimately, everything does, but this also comes back to your signature. So although you may or may not thoroughly vet, or you don't read it or get into it as deep as maybe you would if you had additional time, the expectation is that that signature means a whole lot more than just a signature. And so that's what I'll stand on, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.